You know, I had the intro written like a month ago like normal, but then XXXTentacion got murdered and Scorpion blew through the charts, and I just don't know what to tell you other than the Hot 100 shit itself. Truthfully, things are worse now than they have ever been in my time ranking the Hot 100, and I can really only blame Drake for at least some of this. Thankfully, the Hot 100 saw a formula change that made sales actually matter again, which is nice, but it's gonna take a few weeks for things to truly change. So, as long as things don't somehow get worse in the 13-week span from now to fall, I'm hoping we'll see a change of pace from what we've gotten in 2018. But let's be honest, we all know why you're here, so let's just restate the basics. Same shit, bad, mad, decent, good, and great, 0 to 5 point system as always, opinions, blah blah blah, whatever, you know what's next. I'm sad, I know ya. I'm sad, I know ya. I don't want to do this, and truly, I don't think any of you want to do this either. First things first, I would like to formally send my condolences to X's family, friends, as well as to all of his fans who happen to like his music. Also, I would recommend that you skip to this timestamp for reasons that you can probably guess. But to get my stance out of the way, Sad is still an utterly disgusting song that tries to use suicide as a threat if this girl wants to break up with X, all hidden behind a fine enough melody while also being a barely finished song, and it's still not the worst on question mark. When he died, I thought I'd give it a little bit of slack. It'd still make my worst list, that was definite, but it'd make it a lot lower. And then this went to number 1. That's right, XXXTentacion, the dude that abused his pregnant girlfriend, beat his gay inmate literally because he looked at him, and only got away with all of that because he made shitty music that related to the edgy fucks that didn't give a shit that he was a fucking monster, a number 1 hit. A posthumous number 1 hit. The last person to get a posthumous number 1, Static Major. The last person to get a posthumous number 1 as the lead artist, that was Biggie. Oh, and if you don't feel gross yet, one of the details listed in the multiple accounts of abuse from the then pregnant ex-girlfriend XXXTentacion beat up was that he constantly threatened to kill himself, even going as far as to dangle a microwave over a full bathtub. So when he threatened suicide in Sad, it's because he literally did it before. And it worked. But to get back to my initial point, instead of lowering my placement of the song on my worst list, I'll be keeping it right in the place I would get if X wasn't murdered, even if I come across as insensitive. But hey, that's what happens when you separate the art from the artist, now isn't it? So for those of you who don't follow me on Twitter, I gave Drake's Scorpion my 4th ever 1 out of 10 in regards to albums. It fucking sucked. A lot. The album's impact was on the week prior to this one, but the devastation that album bomb left certainly is not gone yet. And from the perspective of someone who absolutely hated that album, this only meant bad things for me. But the worst aspect of this album bomb were the songs that got pushed off the Hot 100. There are the songs that I would have loved to see stay for a bit longer, but got cut short, like Fake Love by BTS and Power Glide by Ray Shremmerd. And sure, there were songs that I wasn't a fan of that dropped out, like Plug Walk by Rich the Kid, Walk It Talk It by Migos and Drake himself, Overdose by Youngboy Never Broke Again, Fuck Love and Hope by XXXTentacion. But truthfully, the rest of the notable dropouts don't make up for that, in the slightest. Dura by Daddy Yankee, Wait by Maroon 5, Heaven by Kane Brown, New Rules by Dua Lipa, Rockstar by Post Malone, and fucking Havana by Camila Cabello, all gone. This was infuriating on its own, but knowing Drake was the one to wipe all of them out, yeah, I'm upset. Wait. I'm upset. Of course the absolute worst song on Scorpion hit the top 10, was a single in the first place, and is still in the top 20 right now. Real quick, for the two of you that don't know, Drake had a kid with a porn star and tried to hide it from the whole world while also not really giving a shit about the kid at all. And nobody would have known if Pusha T didn't expose him for it on the story of Adidon. This song was released a mere days before this information. Drake says this on the song. Can't go 50-50 with no hope. And this. Every month I'm supposed to pay a bill. Hey Drake. Can you come here for a second? I want to tell you something. Suck my dick! I still see your shadows in my room. This peaked at number 3. Who the fuck is Juice WRLD, and why did his first hit go to number 3 with ease? Juice WRLD's voice is literally Post Malone's voice with the absolute tiniest hint of Lil Yachty injected into it, and actually I get it now that I say it out loud. The instrumental melody is cool, but if you somehow don't know by now, it's literally an unaltered melody from Sting. But you know what? The vocal melody in the chorus is actually pretty okay, but this guy just sucks. For one, he says both of these things in the chorus. I cannot change you, so I must replace you, and I won't let you forget me. And then he goes on to say all of this. I know that you want me dead. I gave you my heart and you made heartbreaks. Who knew evil girls had the prettiest
eyes. You were made out of plastic, fake.
I have no punchline to that. Still not the worst lucid I've dealt with in the past 365 days. So looking things over, I realize that I have yet to make a statement about Marshmello. I fucking hate him. His production is always lackluster at best, but the content and performance from his features are usually what makes the difference between mediocre and outright awful. I think you know which this is by now.
Haven't I made it obvious? Haven't I made it clear?
So Anne-Marie, who you might know from Rockabye or Not At All, teams up with Marshmello to make a friend zone anthem. What could possibly go right? This song really grates on my nerves, like more than usual. Marshmello yet again puts out a hollow mix with these bland and rather cheap trap skitters throughout, a limp acoustic guitar line during the intro, outro, and verses, as well as this repetitive noise which I can't tell whether it's really faint gang vocals or an ultra cheap percussion hit.
Don't mess it up, talking that shit.
But in a rare turn of events, Marshmello isn't the worst thing about this song. No, like I said before, this is a friend zone anthem. We didn't need this. Hell, I don't think anyone wanted this, especially not from these two. As much as I'd like to believe that this concept can't work, it probably can. But the problem with the writing here is that they write this guy as a stalker, not just some friend with feelings. And it's super apparent here.
You looking insane, turning up at my door. 2 in the morning, the rain is pouring. Haven't we been here before?
Yeah, at this point you should just file a restraining order, since this isn't just some one-time thing. Hell, this isn't even a 2-time thing according to you.
I've told you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,000 times.
Listen, I get that you may be frustrated with this guy at this point, and I don't blame you, but if you think being this stuck up and arrogant is the way to deal with it, you are wrong. If someone is this infatuated with you, you need to cut them off entirely. You can't just be friends, no matter how much you try to spell it out to him. What? Where's the E? Okay, so you mean to tell me that in this song that is about putting someone in their place as a friend, where you literally spell out the word friends, you make the measure fit 6 letters when friends is spelt with 7? Are you fucking kidding me? How do you even mess that up? Anne-Marie has to shove I and E into the same syllable, and in doing so you can't even tell she says E in the first place. And they were so lazy and probably rushed in making this song that they just didn't bother to fix it. Oh, and also, am I the only one annoyed by the whole no talking helmet gimmick coming from Marshmello? Daft Punk have their robot heads, and it fits because of the music they make. So by that logic, does Marshmello wear a marshmallow head to symbolize that he makes bland and sterile whiteness? Ladies and gentlemen, and anyone in between, the dullest song on the Hot 100.
The dash is digi, the schedule busy, my head in a hoodie, my shorty a good.
And to be honest, I don't even think I could put this song in a hypothetical worst list because of how little there is to even mention. Drake's intro verse is 37 seconds long, while also feeling like it drags on far too long because of how flat and monotone Drake sounds, while Little Baby barely sounds like what Young Thug would sound like if 100% of the personality got drained. All while the production is dull as all hell. And that's it. It's truly nothing. The song.
Kiki, do you love me? Are you riding?
So this is the #1 song in the country right now. Are you fucking kidding me? I'm annoyed with this song because it's trying to coast off the shit Drake already did for the lead-off singles for Scorpion, except it's a weaker version of all of those things. His single verse has the flow of the "She Said Do You Love Me" line from God's Plan, except somehow Drake sounds like he has 0.01% more passion but 80% less energy, and I'm not even sure how he pulled that off. And then he pulls that cramming 2 samples together at once thing that he did on Nice for What, except it sounds so much worse here. I'll repeat, this is the #1 song in the country right now. I think that's the punchline, honestly.
It's a rolling, not a stop. Watch shit don't never stop.
This got so close to going to #1 solely off of Scorpion having an album bomb and nothing else. It's just a random album track put first on Spotify's Rap Caviar playlist and is the first real song on Scorpion, and that's the only reason this song got big. I highly doubt this will even make the year end, and if it does, it'll be because it's either pushed as a single or it sticks around long enough and gets enough points. But this song is so worthless and meaningless that I basically have nothing to say about this, and I don't think people will be upset if I don't detail this song, so fuck it. What's being kept out of the top 20?
When I taste my blood, get off my dick.
You got some shit to say. It don't matter to me.
Yeah, fuck Drake. This should not have stuck around this long. Seriously, a meme became the most played song on the radio 3 months after the meme was dead. Are we fucking doing this?
She can get a taste.
Tyga. We're giving a top 20 hit in 2018 to Tyga. The only good thing here is that I got bingo. And you know what? Fine, the production is actually pretty damn good. I almost put it in the Met tier because of it alone, but then I get to literally anything else about this song. For one, Tyga has way more hits than I actually realized, mainly because I forgot about anything that wasn't Rack City or Bedrock. And there's a chance that this is better than any of his other hits, solely because of the production, but when he's not saying the generic shit I can hear elsewhere, he says shit like this.
I'm the black JB, the way these bitches scream.
Tyga, never mind the fact that you are not the black Justin Bieber. Unless you know how Bieber does in bed, the only people he makes scream are his young fans. I don't want to deal with the whole Tyga's totally a pedophile thing today. Can I please get to a different bar to criticize?
And she gon' suck me like a fucking high C.
High C. The juice boxes. I'm not dealing with this conversation today, okay?
I'ma put the drip on the plate.
Oh yeah, Offset, wake the fuck up. Even when the Migos members don't try, at least there's like some hint of energy, even if it's like 4%. But here you'd think he recorded this with his newborn daughter in the same room. Which, by the way, culture. I don't know why I'm surprised.
God's plan. God's plan.
I feel like I've had to talk about this song like 5 times already, but it's literally been once during the spring. But I said everything I could about it in the spring. It's just a mediocre song not worth anyone's time of day. Second best song on Scorpion, by the way. That's fucked, isn't it? I put it back in the Met tier.
But if it's meant to be, it'll be, it'll be.
I just don't fucking care anymore. It's been the #1 song on the country charts for 33 weeks now. At least it's not Body Like a Back Road, I guess. 3 seasons. I've had to talk about this in the top 20 rankings for 3 seasons now. This thing shouldn't have had the staying power it's had. My god.
Why don't you just meet me in the middle?
I never want to hear this song ever again. 9th best song in the top 20. The song grew on me a little. Hell, by the time this year's done, it'll probably be in the good tier. But the group chat I'm in, Clowns and Bozos, is more than a great tier chat. So in spirit of that, time for a short block of Clowns and Bozos representation.
I used to just absolutely hate everything about this song. Every single thing about it. It was just like everything that I thought was awful about modern pop music. I also used to be...
I'm gonna be completely honest, I didn't even realize the Clowns and Bozos chat was referencing this song for like 3 months.
Hello there, let's talk about Psycho. Now, Psycho is a song by Post Malone that cool people listen to. So honestly, it should be called Psy Cool, because Psy is cool. Psy made Gangnam Style back in 2012, which was 6 years ago. 6. And there were 3 hit Psy songs, which were Gangnam Style, Hangover, and Gentleman. So, 6 years ago, 666. This means Post Malone is the devil. Clowns and Bozos represent.
Alright, fine, it grew on me. I still don't think it's that good, though. I mean, it's probably Drake's best no-feature song, and that's mostly because it's nothing like a Drake song. I've listened to 7 Drake projects now. He kinda sucked a lot, both as an artist and a person. He's not a horrible artist, mind you. His pre-Scorpion projects roughly even out to a 5 out of 10 across the board, but he's just so unlikable. And not even in a way that gives you satisfaction either. He's just a really shitty person. And to be honest, that's why a song that's about empowering women, which manages to be a good, fun song, coming from Drake, isn't as satisfying as it really should be. Because think about it this way. What does Drake truly get out of making this song? There had to be a net positive for him to make this song. I don't believe he chose to make this on his own terms. Although this song is totally going to backfire on Drake, so that's another positive.
'Cause I know that it's delicate. Isn't it?
Hey, awesome! Taylor decided to end her garbage streak by releasing the best song off of Reputation as a single. Although after her 2nd and 3rd single flop, she probably realized how badly her next single needed to not sound like loud noise. And while this song sounds like a breath of fresh air when it comes on during Reputation, when compared to her pre-Reputation singles, it's not that good. I mean, it's no style, obviously, but you really can't expect Taylor to even reach that peak ever again. But compare it to Wildest Dreams, Blank Space, even Out of the woods, and I'll totally get shit for this take, but even I Knew You Were Trouble. Delicate just falls short a little bit, even if it's probably her most vulnerable song to date. The instrumentation, like a majority of Reputation, feels rather hollow and gray, like a dull husk of what was formerly there. But with that said, this is easily the best the instrumentation gets on Reputation, even if it can feel a little lacking at times. But to be completely honest, my problems with this song actually do come down to the writing itself. Don't get me wrong here, this song definitely has the best writing on Reputation, but I honestly have a major flaw with this.
My reputation's never been worse, so you must like me for me.
Okay, first things first, I Don't Want to Live Forever was the proof that Taylor's career would have been just fine if she just didn't deal with the whole Kanye West or Katy Perry bullshit. So the whole Reputation being bad thing truly came from Look What You Made Me Do, and the majority of Reputation being rather loud and obnoxious. But actually, that's not my major flaw with this. My real flaw is actually with the whole picture in that line. Because let's look at Taylor Swift for a minute. She's an ultra huge pop star, she's utterly gorgeous, has all the money she could want, and most importantly, if you search Taylor Swift Gives Flowers To, or Taylor Swift Big Heart, you'd know that she was a genuinely great person, and I think deep down we all wish we had someone like her in our lives. I'm struggling to find what there is to not like about Taylor Swift. That complaint got way more nice than I would have thought.
Boot up, and my heart goes bad. Boot up.
Well, this is nice. I like this. LMA's pretty solid. I've only heard her Ready EP, and quite frankly, nothing on there was too noteworthy besides this, so I'm happy it's the one to get weirdly big out of nowhere. I doubt she'll get another hit moving forward, to be honest, but I'm happy this is doing really well. It's sweet. I have no urge to seek it out at all, but I'm happy when it comes on the radio. It's nice.
I'm in district in the chain.
We all knew this was going to be a hit. We all knew this was going to be a #1 hit, whether you liked it or not. It's a phenomenal summer song. And truly, 2 years ago, this wouldn't have had a shot. Seriously. Despacito needed to be remixed by Justin Bieber, and then Mi Gente needed to become a hit, and then that needed to get remixed by Beyonce, and then Bodak Yellow needed to get to #1, with No Limit, Motorsport, Bart J. Cardi, and anything else she dropped or was on becoming a hit after it in order for the song to be a smash hit. And so far, it only got a week at #1 because of the events I mentioned in the video's intro. This song was destined to be the summer song for 2018, but look, Drake ruined it like he ruins everything else. So, I don't know how to do this one.
You know I said that I am better now, better now. I only say that cause you're not around.
It's not because I like a Post Malone song, because obviously I've been super vocal about liking Rockstar, and spoilers for this, but Congratulations is pretty fucking amazing too. Oh, and Candy Paint's Candy Paint, but this song, well, it's personal. If you were following me on Twitter in May, there's like a 70% chance you got to witness me have a fucking breakdown over something that I should probably keep to myself, knowing there's a couple thousand people who will watch this. But holy fuck, where the Chainsmokers Somebody and a majority of the weekend's My Dear Melancholy comma became ultra cathartic during the downward spiral that was my life during May and early June, Better Now became the quintessential song to help me push forward after it was time to stop dwelling. And as much as I'd like to thank Post Malone for giving me this, you saw me put it in the good tier. You know a butt is coming, and here it is. I felt this song to the core of my soul in a time where I needed it, but Post Malone ruins everything during the bridge.
I'll be okay, you're only the love of my life.
Ignoring the fact that Post Malone really sucks for saying that, the person that fucked me over so hard it made me more depressed than I've felt in 5 years was like a sister to me before this event. So yeah, very far from the whole love of my life status. There should be a remix where a rapper overrides the bridge and doesn't ruin the song further. I'd like to vote for Lil Uzi Vert, he would kill it.
And then no tears of the cry. So I'm picking it up, picking it up.
I feel like I don't give Ariana Grande as much credit as she deserves with me. She's had so many hits, and I actively like almost all of them, with one in particular being one of my favorite pop songs, period. And besides her unnotable debut album, I really enjoyed both her sophomore and junior albums. And I'm definitely excited for Sweetener, especially because of its lead-off single.
Picking it up, picking it up.
After the truly horrific events from her 2017 Manchester show, if she wanted to move forward making music in the same vein, this was the song she needed to make. And don't get it twisted, she made an absolutely phenomenal pop song in the process, to the point where its positives are all pretty obvious. Ariana Grande sounds absolutely stunning because she's a phenomenal vocalist, and the production only helps her. And the writing is damn good too. Hell, if I didn't have horrible depression, this probably would be a strong best list contender. And guess what I put above it? You know, there are songs on the Hot 100 that I like more than this. If they just had more points, I wouldn't be putting a hot take at the top of this. Fuck it, I made Maroon 5 my number 1.
Girls like you run around with guys like me till sundown when I come through.
You all know I like Maroon 5 a lot, right? Sure, it won't be Soon Before Long is easily their best album, but I also gave V a light 9. Red Pill Blues is a really awkward and overall clunky as hell album and really did deserve a lot of the flack it got. But Cole probably would have made my best list of last year if Future's verse wasn't dog shit. And if Whiskey ends up being a single and then a hit, you can bet your ass it'll make my best list, and pretty damn high too. Although this is definitely fighting for a spot. Let me just start with how fucking earwormy the guitar line is. It runs throughout most of the song, and unlike whatever the Noise Mi Gente was, it's quite pleasant. Adam Levine sounds the same as always, and again, I like how his voice sounds, so that's good. I'm not gonna act like Levine is a talented vocalist per se. He has some awkward moments, especially when he goes for high notes in live performances. Those can be unfortunate. But in studio, I'm definitely a fan. He should stop cucking bandmates, though. Like, James Valentine, again, has a really sticky guitar line. PJ Morton is the keyboard player, so he does basically everything else in the instrumentation because the rest of it isn't organic. And then the other 4 members basically do nothing. So let me just make the point that Maroon 5, especially modern day Maroon 5, should not be a 7-member band. But saying this song sucks because there aren't drums or 3 guitars or a piano is honestly a bit ridiculous. And really, with that aside, I don't really get why a lot of people don't like this. You could argue that it's inoffensive, but it sounds nice. Levine is barely in his falsetto, and lyrically it's a nice song. I mean, if there's any place I have a problem, it'd probably have to be, oh wow, I've never said this before, Cardi B.
Not too long ago, I was dancing with Dolla.
I struggle to call this a bad verse, but it's probably her worst in terms of her hits. The thing is, even if Cardi B is in full reality phoning it in, she has such a personality with her quirks that it's likable to her fans of her music like myself, but that's actually the entire problem. The verse is just her quirks and personality. It's a husk of Cardi B, but that husk is still very distinctly Cardi B. And hell, she still has the most memorable line of the damn song.
Every time you fall, I play with this kitty like you play with your guitar.
Even on the adult contemporary ready song, Cardi B manages to slip in a subtlety about masturbation. Only she would do that and get away with it. Oh, and before I move on, I love how there's the passion in Levine's performance at the end and how the tension just lets loose as the instrumentation flips back to the guitar line. It's nice. In fact, overall, this song's just nice to listen to. It's pleasant, and I've probably heard it like 300 times already, and I just absolutely love it. I'm honestly not even guilty that this is topping the ranking. Once we add up all the points together for this week, we end up with a 41 out of 100. My all-time low before this was a 50. Fuck this top 20. Quite frankly, I only seek out 1 through 4 in this ranking to listen to on a frequent basis, and that's horrible in comparison to every other ranking I've done. Anyways, I'd say the 2017 year-end ranking is next, but there are some loose ends I'd like to tie up first, so I'll see you then.
Good night, everybody!
Thank you guys so much for watching. If everything went according to plan, this is coming up on Tuesday, July 24th, 2018, which is my 18th birthday, so please don't be that mean to me. But also, it's a free world, so you can do whatever the fuck you want, I guess. Thank you to all my Clowns and Bozos friends who were a part of this video as well. I will talk to you guys later.